Hey, what's up? My name is Alex and welcome to English Rewind, listening and reading comprehension. We've got some more interesting things to read today. The title of today's reading is A Housewife for Me. Let's get into it. It's from English Rewind, newsletter number 16. So let's get started with the basic English. Today's one is quite long and we have many keywords. So get ready. Let's go. My job keeps me busy the whole day. I wake up early in the morning and go home late at night. I have no time for myself. I'm also busy on Saturdays and Sundays. I have to do the laundry and other things. I wish I had a wife to help me. I grew up with a mother who was a housewife. She helped my father with these things. Unfortunately, many women don't want to be housewives anymore. They want to make their own money. Did you get that? Okay. So remember, sometimes I leave things out in the basic English. The basic English just gives you a quick idea of what the advanced English is about. The basic English is there to help you understand the advanced English a bit better. Advanced English. My job keeps me busy the whole day. I wake up early in the morning and go home late at night. I hardly have any time for myself. Even on the weekends, I'm busy. I'm either doing the laundry or other household chores I couldn't do during the week. I've thought about getting a maid, but that's expensive. It would be nice to have a loving wife who helped me. I grew up in a more traditional household. My father earned a salary, while my mother was a housewife. She helped my father by doing all the household chores. I wish my life could be like that. I want a wife who can help me with household responsibilities. Unfortunately, many women don't want to be housewives anymore. We live in a world where women want to be more independent from men. They want to earn their own income. They want to stand on their own 2 feet. Okay, quite a few new words in the advanced section and 1 or 2 expressions, but let's quickly look at them. So the first one was housewife. A housewife is someone who stays at home and looks after the house and looks after the children. So a housewife doesn't have a work like the husband. She stays at home. We saw it in the sentence. My father earned a salary while my mother was a housewife. So in the story, the person says his mother was a housewife. Example sentence. A very easy word to understand. Mary wanted to be a housewife, like a mother. I mean, the words consist of 2 other words, house and wife. So it's very obvious actually by just looking at the word. The second word, hardly, meaning not really or barely or not at all. We saw it here with I hardly have any time for myself. So by saying I hardly have any time for myself, that means I'm saying I don't really have any time for myself. Time for myself, he meant he's always busy at his job. And when he comes home, he needs to do things at the house, like washing the dishes and stuff. So he doesn't really have a lot of time for himself. I hardly have any time for myself. Example sentence would be, I hardly like you, which means I don't really like you. I hardly like you. Not a lot, barely, not at all, not very much. I hardly like you. Or we have hardly spoken, which means we haven't really talked much. So if someone asks me, how's it going with your friend? And then I might say, we've hardly spoken these last 2 years. So that means in these last 2 years, we haven't really talked much. Weekend, very obvious. Saturdays and Sundays. That's the weekend. Your Saturday and your Sunday, that would be the weekend. Let's go watch a movie this weekend. So yeah, that's either on Saturday or on Sunday. Household, okay. We saw household in where it says, even on the weekends, even on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm busy. I'm either doing the laundry or other household chores. So household means anything that has to do with your house, basically. It's your home, your house, your family. So when you talk about my household, you're talking about your house and your family and things like that. So you might say, our household has 2 televisions, which just means in our house, in our family, in the house we live in, we have 2 televisions. Or the dog was part of our household, which just means the dog is part of the house. The dog is part of the family, household. The next word was chore, which a chore is a task, something that needs doing, and that's usually at home. We saw it here with, even on the weekends I'm busy. I'm either doing the laundry or other household chores I couldn't do during the week. So other household chores. Remember, household is now things that have to do with your house, your family. And chores would be, like it said here, a task, something that needs doing. So when we talk about a household chore or a chore at your house, then usually a chore is just take out the garbage, do the dishes, clean the living room. Those are chores. So those little things that need to be done. And those are the things in the story which the guy said, I don't really have time to do. So in the example sentence, washing the dishes is my household chore. So my household chore, that is the thing, my responsibility, the thing that I need to do at our house. And that is to wash the dishes. But don't worry, I'll explain this again when I work through the advanced section at the end again. A maid. Very easy. A maid is someone who takes care of household chores. I think we all know what a maid is, but it was used here with, where was it? There we go. I've thought about getting a maid, but it's expensive. I've thought about getting a maid, but it's expensive. So the maid cleaned our house because that's what a maid does. The maid gets the household chores like washing the dishes, cleaning the house, taking out the garbage. That's the job of the maid. So she cleans up, she looks after the household by doing the chores. Tradition. Okay, a bit of a more difficult word or concept. Tradition is the way things are usually done. We saw it in the sentence, I grew up in a more traditional household. Because remember, he said that my father worked during the day and my mother was a housewife. So that's a very traditional family, meaning that's a very old style, a way things usually get done. It's very traditional. Tradition talks about the way things usually get done. So in the example sentence, it's Christian tradition to pray before eating because Christians usually pray and thank God for the food before they eat. So that's a tradition. It's traditional to pray before eating if you're a Christian. That's a mistake. Let me quickly just fix that. Okay, I fixed the mistake. So the next example sentence would be, a traditional family has a father and a mother because that's the way things usually gets done. It's been done that way for hundreds, thousands of years. There's a mother, and a father. It's tradition. It's the old way of doing things. So, yeah. Responsibility. Something that you must do, something that's your job, or something that's your duty. So in the sentence we saw that I want a wife who can help me with household responsibilities. So household, the things about the house, to do with the house and the family, responsibility. So I want a wife who can help me with the things that need doing in the house, the responsibilities we have, the chores, the tasks, the things we need to do. Those are the responsibilities. So it's my responsibility to feed the dog, clean my room and everything. Those are responsibilities, things that you need to do. So it's a mother's responsibility to raise her children. So once again, responsibility is something that you must do. It's kind of like your job. It's your duty. So it's the job of a mother to raise her children. It's the duty of a mother to raise her children. It's something that she must do. I am responsible for washing the car. So perhaps the father said to the son, "Son, it's your responsibility to wash the car." So now it has become his job. It's his work. He needs to make sure the car gets washed. It's his responsibility. Independent. To be free from the control of others, not depending on others, to be on your own and to care for yourself. We saw it here with, we live in a world where women want to be more independent from men. So that just means that by saying they want to be independent, women want to be independent from men. That means women don't want to rely on men, meaning women don't want men to always have to care for them. Women want to be able to care for themselves. They want to be able to do things for themselves. They don't want to always need a man to do things for them. So they want to be independent, not dependent. So when you say, "I am dependent on you," that means I need you. I need your help. I need you to survive. I depend on you. I'm dependent on you. That's where dependent comes from depend, to rely on someone, to trust someone, to need someone. So independent means I don't have to depend on you. I don't need you. I can do this on my own. So the man became independent from his parents. So he doesn't need his parents anymore. And because of that, he lived by himself and earned his own salary. So he was now independent. He wasn't depending on his parents anymore. He was independent. He made his own salary. He was living in his own house. And he cared for himself. I'm an independent businessman. I work for myself. So independent businessman, you don't work for another company. You don't have a boss. You work for yourself. You're independent. You care for yourself. Or if you live with your parents, you'll never truly be independent. So that just means while you're living with your parents, you can't do things your way. Because when you're independent, that means you're the boss. You make the rules. You can do what you want. But when you live with your parents, when you live in your parents' house, then they make the rules. They are the boss. So you're not independent. You still need to listen to them. Okay, income. Income basically means the money earned or salary. So we see it here with they want to earn their own income. That's now the women who want to be independent. They want to earn their own income, meaning they want to have their own salary. They want to make their own money. My monthly income is less than $2,000. So I make less than $2,000 a month. That's what it means. I can't buy that. I don't have an income. So I don't have money. I don't have a job. I don't have a salary. I can't buy that. Then the last one is an expression. Stand on your own 2 feet, which means to be independent. It means to care for yourself, to not need someone else. So we saw it here with they want to stand on their own 2 feet, talking about the women. They want to be independent. They want to care for themselves. Example sentence. Decide for yourself. Stand on your own 2 feet. So that means don't let people think for you. Think for yourself. Decide for yourself. You choose. Stand on your own 2 feet. Don't rely on other people. Don't be dependent on people. Be independent. Make your own decision. That's what it means. Okay, quite a few keywords. Let's just read through this again, and then we'll be finished. Okay, my job keeps me busy the whole day. So the person is busy the whole day. He's at work the whole day. He doesn't have time to do other things. I wake up early in the morning and go home late at night. So It's not like being a child anymore where you're sitting at home the whole day. He has responsibilities. He needs to go to work. He needs to earn an income. I hardly have time for myself. So he's saying, my job keeps me busy. I'm there from early in the morning till late at night. I don't have time to do other things. Even on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm busy. But with what? Well, he's busy with either doing the laundry or other household chores I couldn't do during the week. So now Saturday and Sunday comes, and his job is he doesn't work on Saturdays and Sundays. He doesn't need to go to work, but even then, he still has other responsibilities, chores he needs to do. He needs to look after his house. He needs to wash the dishes, do the laundry, clean the house, and stuff like that. So he's still busy. He still has things to do. He still doesn't have time for himself. So he says, I've thought about getting a maid, to help him, but that's expensive, which is true. In certain countries, getting a maid isn't as expensive. I know, like in South Africa, getting a maid isn't as expensive as perhaps getting it in another country like America. But not in every country people have maids. Only usually rich people have maids. It would be nice if I had a loving wife to help me. So he says, having a maid is expensive. I wish I had a wife that could help me. She could help me with these things at home. Now, it almost sounds like he's saying, I want my wife to become my maid, which is not true. That's not what's happening here. I grew up in a more traditional household. So he's saying, I want my life, my marriage, my household to be the way it was when I was a child, because we grew up in a traditional household. We grew up with more traditional ways of thinking, where you have a husband, you have a wife, the father goes to work to his job during the day, and the mother stays at home and looks after the house. My father earned a salary, there he says it, while my mother was a housewife. She helped my father by doing all the household chores. So while the father is working hard at his job during the day, earning an income and a salary, his wife is helping him by doing the household chores and taking care of those other things, so that when the husband gets home, he has some time to relax as well. I wish my life could be like that. So the person here he wants things to be the way it was when he was a child with his mother and his father. I want a wife who can help me with household responsibilities. So he says, I want my wife to help me. He doesn't say, I want my wife to become my maid. That's not what he's saying. I want my wife to help me, because he's also going to help his wife by doing certain things. He's going to his job, work every day. He's working hard to earn a salary, and his wife helps him by doing these other household chores. I want a wife who can help me with household responsibilities, the household things that need doing. Unfortunately, many women don't want to be housewives anymore. So he's saying that things today aren't the way they were in the past. Many people don't believe in traditional households anymore, where you follow certain traditions and customs, like a husband and a wife, and the wife stays at home and looks after the house. He realizes in the story that even if he did marry, his wife might not want to become a housewife. She might not want to stay at home. Perhaps she'll want to have a job of her own. Because, and here he says it, we live in a world where women want to be more independent from men. So he realizes that today women want to be independent. They want to stand on their own 2 feet. They want to be able to care for themselves. They don't want to rely on their husband to give them money. They want to earn their own income. They want to stand on their own 2 feet. So that's the big problem in the story. He says, I live on my own. I work hard. I don't have time to do things. I need help. I wish I had a wife who could help me. But the problem is, my wife probably will also want to have a job. She won't want to be a housewife. She wants to be independent and also be able to care for herself and not rely on me. So that's the problem he's facing here. Okay, so that's it for today. A housewife for me. I hope it was helpful. I hope it taught you something. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and leave a comment, please. And until next time, cheers.